The Nazis murdered their grandparents and their aunts and uncles during the Holocaust, and each one thought they had no relatives left in the world. Now, 66 years after the end of the Second World War, two cousins held an emotional first-ever meeting in Jerusalem. Thanks to some amateur sleuthing through the records of the Yad Vashem Holocaust Memorial database, Liora Tamir made an astonishing discovery.
I
typed my mother's name in Russian, Yona Shapira, and was astounded when it came up. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
She found out that the name of her mother had been added back in 1956, but not by her. After tracking down all of the documents and cross-referencing the names and locations, it became apparent that her mother's brother had also survived the war, and his son was living in Israel too, just a half an hour away. Liora Tamir grew up an orphan in the Soviet Union after her mother died. She knew little except that she was from Poland and had been sent to the Gulag for her political beliefs. She moved to Israel in 1979. Aryeh Schickler said his father had fled Europe before the war and settled in Palestine. He had thought none of his siblings ever survived the war.
My dad didn't tell us much because he wanted to spare us from carrying with us this burden of the Holocaust.
I am happy, delighted for myself to have an entire family and happy for my kids who never knew their grandparents and thought they had no relatives.
When you actually meet, you realize that blood is thicker than water. All you have to do is listen, and it all starts flowing out.
Guided by the principle every victim has a name, Yad Vashem began the monumental task a decade after the Second World War ended to identify the 6 million Jews murdered in the Holocaust.
Today, Yad Vashem and the central database of Shoah victims' names has 4 million names of Jews who were killed during the Holocaust documented. We are still reaching out to communities worldwide to ask them to help us reach out to the members of their communities and ask them to fill out pages of testimony in memory of their loved ones who were killed during the Holocaust.
In a nation that has the largest number of Holocaust survivors, reunions had been commonplace decades ago. But now the survivors are dying off, and meetings like this have become very rare. From Jerusalem, this is Aryeh O'Sullivan reporting for the Media Line.